In this age where AI has become an everyday topic and in moments in which adverts make us feel afraid of not including AI in our lives, I want to talk about how we humans compose music and write songs. My name is Marcello. I am a composer and songwriter, and I want to give my take on how we composers create music. There is a misconception that composers and songwriters create music from the nothingness. That is not true. We mix up in our brains what other composers have created, and then we come out with something new. Then we complain that AI listens to music we humans have created with so much work and make a collage out of it and brings something relatively new. By the way, that is not how AI produces music. AI analyzes, identifies patterns, and predicts what sounds should come next. When we create music, there are two very important actors in the process. One of them is music theory, and the other one is intuition. When it comes to music theory, I'm not only including those musicians that have a solid musical formation. I also refer to musicians that had not formal education at all, like for example Paul McCartney, Eric Satie and many other music creators. There is no way a musician have not had a sort of theory that helps them to compose, including those who didn't study. As a songwriter or composer, you always have a certain set of theory knowledge that in many cases you made up yourselves. Kind of you create your own music theory if you haven't acquired one. I know that by my own experience. I started studying formal composition when I was 18, but I started writing songs when I was roughly 13, 14. How did I manage then without music theory? Well, the point is that there was a sort of music theory already. I learned to name chords. I knew there were chords more important than others that eventually I put names to it. I am referring to tonic, dominants, and subdominants, etc. For a long time I didn't know the technical names of the elements I was using, but I had the concepts and in some cases even made up names like home chords instead of tonic. Then came harmony, counterpoint, form and other compositional concepts. At first they blew my mind, but later they started limiting my imagination as I tried to follow the rules. Then the real moment in which formal theory started to make sense was when it became internalized. This was when the rules made sense not because they were rules, but when I noticed that something sounded bad because I wasn't following the rules. That was the turning point. The rules moved from my intellect to my ears. Once I reached that point was when I could start bending the rules, because my ears were the commanders, not my theoretical knowledge. So theory became part of my musical intuition rather than just intellectual knowledge. That brings us to the second main aspect, the intuition. We all have musical intuition, even those who are no musicians. Not everyone can create music, but almost everyone can enjoy it, because we have the music laws written inside us. Intuition is like a natural AI system we all have inside that tell us where to go and where not to go. It is a part of us that does not need the help of our reasoning mechanism to work. That is why it's so fascinating. Pure intuition is what allows songwriters with little or no knowledge of music theory to create music. I would estimate that around 30% of songwriters have not had any formal music training. But regardless of the formal music training that you have, your intuition can be trained. Besides, your intuition has been trained even if you didn't notice. Listening to music helps train both intuition and music writing skills. That is why it's crucial for wannabe songwriters and composers to listen a lot, especially those genres they want to be involved with. When we listen to music, our deep brain captures patterns and mechanisms that will come out when we are trying to create new music, even if we are not actually conscious of that. Then it comes practice. When we write a lot of music, we activate every time more and more that connection between intuition and creativity. Eventually, we will start producing more and more original music, and we will create a wider gap between what we used to listen and what we create. That will be the moment in which we will never be beaten by AI. Because AI does not make a collage of the music it hears, but it does a collage of the rules that we have created so far, but not the ones that we are ought to create. I hope you find this valuable. Please share your opinion in the comments and feel free to add your own ideas to expand on what I shared. Thank you for listening, and I see you next time.